Hello Uganda and beyond. Welcome to UBC Lunchtime News, and I am Brian Tumwine Biaruhanga. Former FDC and prominent businessman James Garuga Musinguzi has died. Details into his untimely death remain scanty, but who is James Garuga Musinguzi? Let's have the report.
James Garuga Musinguzi, one of the most influential figures from Kigezi region, rose to prominence in the early 2000s as a key political financer and founding backer of the Forum for Democratic Change, FDC party. He was a close ally to retired Colonel Dr. Chiza Besigye Chifefe during the Reform Agenda days, providing both logistical and financial support in the struggle against the ruling NRM government. In 2006, Garuga Musinguzi stepped away from active politics, saying he preferred to focus on development politics, channeling all his resources to tea farming, tourism project, infrastructure, and education initiatives in Kandungu district and across western Uganda. His philanthropy included funding church projects, scholarships, and communities. At the time of his reported death, James Garuga Musinguzi remained an influential person in the regional politics and respected across political divides for his investments in local economic growth. The cause of his death remains scanty, pending detailed confirmation report.
Okay, President Yoweri Museveni has given fishermen across the country over 10 billion Uganda shillings to help them buy equipment to use during fishing to prevent illegal fishing nets. Now, he has banned importation of fishing nets used in illegal fishing and urged the fishermen to continue doing fish farming. Let's see the details of that report.
He repeated what they had advised me when I went there in my PDM. They said you are 1 million PDM is good for the farming and so on. But for fisheries we need more money. So I agreed, and I'm going to give them the 1 billion they're asking for. And we can have another billion for the Kyoga. Let's Kyoga this side. And then even on the Nakasugala side we can have another 1 billion. We have another billion on the Rango side. Another billion on the Teso side. Then here, on the solar side, we can have another 1 billion. First of all, the locals, they could be part of the effort. Then we bring from far the people who have got addition, who have got capital. I've got technology. Then they can team up with the locals and represent us. Me, I will benefit. Because they will pay tax. I saw it the other day. So after she wrote me a report. Era ifo yampandika report. We are going to criminalize the importation of those with timber.
That's what kubanga bokitaka abawente waire mbuzi nebindi ai wali okubyote olukendo kutegekerayo abavubi nadise wabavubi kansubire tushona.
And now let's go to more sad news coming in. 19 people have been confirmed dead and 13 others critically injured following a tragic road accident along Hoima-Bulisa Road last evening. Now, the accident occurred at around 11 p.m. at Chabango Cell in Chigorobia Town Council, Hoima District, when a fuso lorry registration number UBB 639W overturned while transporting over 50 market vendors returning to Hoima City from Bulisa. Preliminary reports indicate that the vehicle failed to ascend a hill, losing control and overturned instantly, killing 19 passengers. Let's see the details.
Banyeta amanyire Jackson ni karakada mulinyowe omusubuzi wabasubuza hano twikara hano kunga abantu bona bije batuyamba kwira abantu abando zero first 19 abando zero ujonga abandi bacyaweja we abandi bacyali agundi okukunga mukama wange Brian Kaboyo ninyo coordinator wayo kana nakumba kane cyakandi ninyo coordinator wa Diana. Okay, Princess Diana chonka baje batuyamba abakulembezi bona abantu abambala bitabu abantu abambafuire ubogenda mochare usogamba liyo stand buli muntu atire
Brairo muti emotoka egyomba iro ituruka mukatale ka Bulisa kyonga bituke tuka mukatale ka Bulisa tulibasi orugendo twabanza kuika kikonko ya Cyankaranya yagaruka enyuma era bagiteyeza otweyongeze kwiko maiso Kigorobya aisemera ya green suit yao inside ese emotoka yagaruka enyuma reverse driver yagiteranka
shocked with the death of our traders. They always go to different markets, market days, and yesterday night we had an accident where we have lost confirmed 19 people, 19 of our traders in the city, which is very unfortunate. So we are here to help to make sure the bodies are released to the families and make sure that they go and arrange the decent burials for our traders within the city. But also I want to caution our traders, this is an unfortunate, but also it's important when we are hiring cars or to take us to the market days, we should always look at cars which are in good mechanical conditions to make sure that we avoid such kind of tragic incidences, like what happened last night when our traders were returning from Bulisa, where they had gone.
Sad news really coming from Bulisa, and may the souls of those who died rest in peace. Now to our next story. The National Resistance Movement youth contesting the Central Executive Committee positions have petitioned the National Chairman, President Yoweri Museveni, asking him to appoint another registrar to preside over the youth elections. Now the youth accuse the Party Electoral Commission Chairman, Dr. Tango Doi, of being biased and impartial. Let's see the details.
Between 27th and 29th August 2025, the National Resistance Movement will conduct its delegates conference, where it will also elect its Central Executive Committee leaders. Among the positions to be elected for include the National Chairman, Vice Chairman, Vice Regional Chairman, Youth, Veteran Affairs, representatives for people with disability, women representatives, among other positions. Youth contesting on the National Youth position have petitioned the party chairman, alleging bias by the chairperson Electoral Commission, Dr. Tang Odoi.
The whole country knows that whoever Tang Odoi doesn't like cannot go through. If you consider the 381 petitions he has on his table, excluding the petitions from the chairpersons of LC5, it really shows that the chairman has failed to conduct or to do his work. So we kindly petition to the president to appoint an independent and impartial registrars to preside over this election, because there is a rule against bias, and we cannot accept Tango Doi to conduct this election where he has a direct interest of his son. In case he appoints those people, let him keep it a secret until the voting day.
They say his son, Tanga Kelon, is among the contestants for the Central Executive Committee youth position.
And referring to 2023 Makerere convocation elections, where Tango Doi was the chairperson of Makerere convocation, he brought his son to contest as the publicity. There was no election, it didn't go on. There was a lot of chaos. So we already know the chaos Tango Doi has done. We have a bigger file which has the evidence of what he has always done.
So I'm also signing against the position where our registrar as the national youth leaders has a son where he's having conflict of interest.
UBC TV tried to reach the National Resistance Movement Electoral Commission chairperson, Dr. Tango Doi, but all efforts were futile.
The number you have dialed is busy. Please try again later. Sorry, the number you have dialed is busy. Please try again later.
The youth are also concerned over commercialization of politics.
So it is so touching that we the youth are selling our votes. One vote can amend a broken world into a whole. Because we are not voting ideological oriented leaders. We are instead voting for money. Those are not leaders. A leader, and I believe the party chairman, President Museveni, believes that a leader emerges.
Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansubuga, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Deborah, for that report. To our next story. Buganda Premier Charles Peter Mayiga has called upon the NRM party to ensure an inter-free and fair election process. He was meeting the State Minister for Microfinance, Haruna Cheyune-Kasolo, at Bulange Mengo, who is unveiling his candidature to Buganda Kingdom. Now Kasolo is contesting for the National Vice Chairman, NRM, for Buganda. Let's see the details.
The Minister State for Microfinance, Haruna Cheyune-Kasolo, has unveiled his Central Committee candidacy in the NRM party to the Kingdom of Buganda.
Kakati mukama wange tuli mu lwokaano siina nsonga yonna gye nsobola kukola ng'ekwatagana na Buganda ne sisooka kujja kugiroopa.
Kasolo, who is vying for the National Vice Chairperson for Buganda, has paid a cut call to Bulange Mengo in Kampala.
Ngamba nti kanzije mukama wange ensonga eyo ngiroope ate nfune n'emikisa okuva ewaffe mpewo bwe zinfuuwako oba oliawo mba ngenza okuwangulira ddala.
Our guest here, the Honourable Minister Haruna Kasolo, is interested in being a vice chairperson of the NRM for Buganda. And of course, the NRM is a national party. So this also goes to serve, that very purpose, that while he's going to represent Buganda.
Mayiga was flanked by ministers Noah Chimba, Joseph Kawuki, among others.
Leadership is very essential at all levels. Leadership at the national level, leadership at the regional level, leadership at the district level, but also leadership within the different political organs or the different political structures like the parties. So even within the parties themselves, we need people who understand leadership as service, people who go into leadership to try and initiate solutions.
Mayiga reiterated the need to have leaders who have Buganda at heart.
He comes from Buddu like me, and every time we're handling Buddu issues, we are doing it with him. And at the level of the kingdom itself, we are always with him when it comes to matters that relate to the kingdom. As a leader within the NRM, we may need to ask him to handle certain issues that affect the kingdom. And if somebody is conversant with the affairs of that particular area, I think it would be very easy for him to sort of promote the interests that affect the kingdom, even within the party structure.
He is, however, concerned about the political violence, which he says puts the country Uganda at risk.
Kwagaliza buwanguzi naye kansuubire nti bwe munaba mulonda tebakwata ettaayi. Omanyi nalabye bakwata ettaayi. Ensi yonna yabirabye. Nalabye bakwata abantu amataayi. Kibooko. Twagala okulonda kube kwa ddembe. Si kuli kwokka kwa Uganda yonna naye kuno okw'omubibiina. Tetwagala abantu kweyogerera mafuukuule. Twagala abantu bajje boogere lwaki baagala obukulembeze. Abantu babawulirize.
Minister Aruna was accompanied by Alhaji Abdul Naduli, her spouse Dr. Aisha Kasolo, politicians Mamerito Mugerwa, among others. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Onyango, for that. Uganda is to host the 11th UNESCO Africa Engineering Week and the 9th African Engineering Conference. The week-long event is expected to convene over 1,000 engineering professionals, researchers, policymakers, and among others from across the continent. Now, the meeting will provide a platform for the participants to chart a collaborative course for Africa's socio-economic transformation through engineering excellence. Let's see the details of that report.
The theme for the conference is
the engineering event, slated for the 14th to the 20th of September, aligns with Uganda's national development agenda to bolster technical capacity, facilitate employment, and support innovation-led economic growth.
This crucial platform will facilitate an invaluable exchange of strategic insights among continental leaders, fostering the coordinated policies essential for Africa to accelerate our collective STI agenda. It is important that many nations are moving ahead together. Then we can share resources, we can share the investment in the value chains. This is where the vision for a technologically advanced Africa will truly begin to take shape.
To the organizers of the 11th UNESCO Africa Engineering Week and the 9th African Engineering Conference in Kampala, the event will offer an opportunity not just to discuss, but to chart a collaborative course for Africa's socio-economic transformation through engineering excellence.
This year we are also talking to aspects of mobility of professional engineering professionals. We are talking about the need for our engineers to be where they need to be, when they need to be, without bureaucratic barriers, ladies and gentlemen, which means we are then getting to the bottom of mobility. We have involved partners such as your African Free Trade Area, such as your African Union, such as sponsors who want to see the mobility of engineering professionals in the continent.
Let us encourage our young youth, women, and other stakeholders to carry out engineering training and practice so that we can leapfrog and accelerate the achievement of the 2030 agenda, the SDGs, and also the Africa we want, which is the Agenda 2063.
The all-encompassing theme of the event is leveraging engineering innovations and technology to accelerate Africa's socio-economic transformation. It reflects the role of engineering in advancing Africa's Agenda 2063 and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Dennis Igora for UBC.
Thank you, Dennis, for that report. Over 200 youth have convened at Serenachigo for a 4-day Sexual and Reproductive Health Justice Baraza under the theme Locked Up But Not Left Out. The Baraza, organized by Reach a Hand in partnership with Afya ya Haki and Kira Motors, will spotlight key issues affecting youth, ranging from access to legal aid services for sexual-based violence to mental health, drug abuse, and other pressing challenges. Let's see the details.
that me and you can do better by changing the status quo. How do we do this? We need to reduce speeches and reach on the ground so that we can solve the problem.
But I'd love you to know that we're here to challenge the status quo. We're here to question what justice truly looks like for young people in Uganda, especially when it comes to sexual and reproductive health and rights for the Gen tribe. Young people deserve a seat at a legal table. Young people deserve a...
Okay, so we partnered up with Rahu because we believe that there needs to be young people who speak about sexual and reproductive health and rights related crimes and offenses and incarcerations. By the end of the baraza, we hope to have more young people interested in reproductive justice.
So my question still goes back to Reach a Hand Uganda and Afya na Haki. How are we going to help the young people down there who are unable to get into these rooms, who have not gone to school, who do not know English? How are we going to help them understand?
We engage students into games like football, basketball, but all these games are usually targeted on a certain cause. For example, mental health, say no to drugs.
People are not alcoholic, but they're coping with a behavior that is so hard, so they end up using alcohol as a suppressant. We have the young people not in education, not in training, not in any form of employment.
The Minister for Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Judith Nabakova, has released the second batch of the 44,425 freehold titles which have been processed by the citizens in 13 districts to attain land tenure security and reduce disputes and cases of land grabbing. She says the systematic land adjudication is an NRM government innovation which ensures that land is surveyed and registered through the recently concluded Slaka project. Let's see the details.
Luka has 8,100 titles.
Government has released 44,425 freehold land titles and handed over to the ministry's zonal offices of Soroti, Jinja, Mbarara, Lira, Masindi and Arua to be distributed to the 13 districts.
We are handing over these titles to Soroti Emzo for dispatch to Serere.
This follows the 57,325 titles that were dispatched on 7th July 2025 through the systematic land adjudication and certification project.
So we are happy that at least we are reducing now on land which is not titled across the country. Unfortunately, the program ended last November, but we had to continue to make sure that we deliver on this critical item which is required by the people in the respective districts.
Lands Minister Judith Nabakova says the process involves ascertaining interests of unregistered land in a systematic manner and securing land rights to everyone.
But most importantly, land disputes decrease because boundary issues are sorted, but also land grabbing reduces because it is very difficult now again somebody to come and place a title on land which has already been surveyed and titled.
So far, the distribution of freehold titles is to areas and regions that have never been registered or demarcated. Meanwhile, ministry zonal offices, COAs and RDCs urged to follow the lists given to ensure that they inform the owners to collect their titles from the respective districts. Marion Awori and Sula Kagugube reporting for UBC.
Thank you, Awori, for that report. Now, lack of planning and coordination in seed production, lack of farmer approach in a customized manner are the leading factors of poor quality of seeds on the market. Stakeholders and the Alliance for the Green Revolution in Africa are advocating for farmer awareness and proper planning on the seed quality. Let's have the details.
Seed is an entry point in determining the nutrition of the produced crop in addressing food security and climate change. However, regulating the quality of seed will ensure that quality seeds are accessible to every farmer. During a seed stakeholders engagement, the issue of poor seeds on the market was raised.
There are some unscrupulous dealers who get grain for eating and paint it and pack it and offer it for sale as if they are selling seed.
There are regulatory frameworks that will ensure quality seed by the Ministry of Agriculture.
The regulatory framework is adequate. The Seed and Plant Act, the Seed and Plant Regulations, the National Seed Policy. But down on the ground, we are now integrating use of ICT to track the quality of seed from breeders to seed companies to agro-input dealers to the end user. ICT is partly now helping us to weed out those speculators who want to cheat the Ugandan farmers.
The Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa is building capacity to ensure that farmers increase productivity by ensuring farmers get high quality seeds. However, the seed gap percentage remains low.
What should we prioritize? Which are the key interventions? Which ones can I do in the short, medium and long term? This is so critical because we leave the farmers out there and the farmers are looking at the government. They are looking at the seed suppliers like the seed companies. They go to the agro dealers shops, they cannot get the variety. And therefore what we want to do is to make sure that this information first of all is accessible to the farmer. The seed is also present at their marketing point, particularly the agro dealer points, and it is of the right variety and of the right quality.
Seed manufacturers appeal to Ministry of Agriculture to address issues of climate change in providing indication of their need production system.
A global issue right now. We expect that funding to do with irrigation of our seed production systems would come in place. Then access to affordable finance has also been a big challenge.
Lydia Chomkama and Dan Lugemwa, UBC News.
Kabong district local leaders have appealed to government to fund road infrastructure to a tune of 10 billion shillings annually, which will enable them build drainage systems. Currently, the district gets over 1.4 billion shillings for maintenance, which is insufficient for sub-county and town council roads. Let's see the report.
Kabong district terrain has mountains and crossing rivers, which make it vulnerable to road network. Whenever it rains, bridges are washed away in some areas.
Crossing here, they carry themselves. The water is flagged around.
From down here is a serious road that has business that connects us actually to Kenya and everything. Most of our goods will sell to this other side, and they also bring actually our money for building our nation through the eastern side. So since this road was locked, it was really a disturbance. It was a disservice for both the two countries and the communities.
The rate of machine breakdown because of the difficult terrain, and because of that, we always implement our roads. Take a lot of time to implement because the repair rates costs are very high.
Kabong district local government has rehabilitated a 44-kilometer road and a bridge connecting Kalabata to Ike County and neighboring Turkana County of Kenya. Residents and district leaders thanked government for the road maintenance fund.
It has been a very good strategic security installation. It has enabled the security forces access the deep areas of Kabong when there is insecurity. And I can speak now with pride because insecurity has come down.
At least we appreciate our government when the service deliverance. He has always actually helped and backed us, and these are the fruits of our NRM party and decentralization services to our communities.
Kabong District Engineer Daniel Lokong says they lack manpower to concentrate on the projects.
1 billion, 10 billion, for example, in 1 year. Certainly that money can do a sizable amount of work. That can give us another 5 years with minimal interventions, where minimal interventions will be to address areas of drainage management, routine maintenance.
Kabong district has 2,111 kilometers of roads. 150 kilometers are for the district, 1,412 for community access roads, and others for the town council. Only 12 sub-counties of the 19 receive maintenance grant.
The Uganda River Blindness Elimination Expert Advisory Committee is convening its 18th meeting to ensure river blindness is eliminated in Uganda. River blindness is caused by a worm. Let's see the details.
Over 99% of okosakiasis cases, also known as river blindness, are found in 31 African countries, including Uganda, the Democratic Republic of Congo, South Sudan, among others. This has been a burden affecting the country's economic development. However, out of the 31, only 5 are left with serious diseases. The Commissioner for Environmental Health at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Herbert Nabasa, attributes this to limited awareness and increased number of refugees across the country.
We have eliminated this program earlier, but because we had this trans-border transmissions, especially orchestrated by the refugee community, we've worked tirelessly with our neighbors to ensure that we eliminate the program.
Experts, stakeholders and representatives from the Qatar Center, World Health Organization, affected countries and other organizations are meeting to evaluate last year's performance and challenges hindering progress towards eliminating okosakiasis.
The very tragic and unfortunate cuts by the U.S. government to global overseas foreign assistance. This means essentially that the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, has been completely eliminated.
We need to join epidemiological and entomological assessment between our countries. We also have identified transmission zones and guide targeted interventions.
Minister of Health Dr. Jane Ruthachin said Uganda can eliminate the disease if the WHO roadmap is used by 2030.
It is my hope that we sustain these gains and make further progress at the end of this meeting. With support of the Reaching the Last Mile Fund, I am optimistic Uganda will have eliminated this disease within the 2030 WHO NTD roadmap.
The chair, Uganda Okosakiasis Elimination Expert Advisory Committee, Thomas Onach, said combining efforts will end river blindness and other neglected diseases. Charity Marion Imnat and Christopher Buyondo for UBC.
Pastor Wilson Bugembe at 20 in Buganda Kusaraya. Do you remember this? How about this? And this one? Join Pastor Will B as he celebrates 20 years of great ministry, worship, praise, and holy entertainment. On the 8th of August at Campus Arena Hotel. Entrance is 150K and the table of 8 goes for 3 million. Alibaba tickets available at 120K on Momo Pay. Dial star 165 star 20 hash. You can also find them at Worship House Nasana, Papa Sport Machinde, and Serena Hotel. For booking, call 0760 333 132. Sponsored by Victoria University, Phenon Records, Next Media, Pepsi, QC Restaurant, Massey Christian School, Success Motors, and MTN.
Diseases like Mpox can catch anyone, and when treated by qualified health workers, patients fully recover. However, it is important to know that survivors are not carriers. Welcome them home with open arms and support them to start life afresh. Truly, they need your support and compassion.
Always remember to seek guidance from the nearest health facility on how to support survivors to resettle well in the community.
For more information about Mpox, call the Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF, WHO, and its partners.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the rider selection campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Welcome back from that short break. Now, UBC Lunchtime News continues with business. CARE International, working with other civil society organizations, has engaged with the Ministry of East African Affairs to strategize on how women in Uganda can benefit more from the regional integration, particularly in the area of trade. Now, the head advocacy at CARE International, Lilian Sengova, points out that there is a number of trade opportunities in East African community that can help and empower women economically. Let's see the details.
Article 121 and 122 of the East African Community Treaty provides for the involvement of women in the affairs of the community, including trade. Now, CARE International, in collaboration with other civil society organizations, has engaged with the Ministry of the East African Community Affairs to strategize on how women in Uganda can benefit more from the regional integration, particularly in the area of trade. They engaged with the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of the East African Community Affairs, Edith Mwanje.
And it's important to note that through that, we'll also be dealing with issues as Uganda, but bringing them at a regional level so that we can enhance the potential of women in leadership, in trade, but as well as social beings, that we are able to see a difference in their lives, but also the development of our country as well as the region.
Because the women are many. The women are many. We need to do more. What is it that we can do to ensure that more and more women do benefit? Because the women actually, in these small scale things, they are good at it. Crafts, agro businesses, vitenges and all that.
We are working with civil society organizations to ensure that there is a long-term working relationship between the different actors to promote development. And today we are very grateful for the platform that the ministry has given us. Some of the issues that the women have presented, of course, include the issues of violence against women, include the issues on women's economic empowerment, include the issues around land rights for women from the partners that we are working with.
The meeting agreed that more awareness be created for the women in the East African community to discover more trade opportunities.
For us as women, we have space to do trade across East Africa. And for us now, those of us who have been here to witness the presentation of the PS and all that consultations we had with them, will be able, together with the documents that we have, we shall go back and disseminate the information to our women, because many women in our localities, they do engage in trade, but on small scale.
We have been doing a lot of advocacy in as far as GBV is concerned and other interventions. But it was not enough because we were not updated with what the Ministry of East Africa Community does. So today we are equipped with more information to go and tell our women and the vulnerable sector of the community that indeed this ministry is doing a lot, and we have the opportunity as women to trade within the East Africa community.
Engaging in regional trade is good for the women in the East African community, as it offers better economic opportunities that can help women improve their livelihoods.
Thank you, Nakuti, for that report. Business owners have been advised to understand customer needs and adopt customers' experience in order to help businesses grow. Now, this was addressed during the Value Addition Customers Experience Forum organized by Customers Experience Association of Uganda in Kampala. Let's see more of that report.
Customer experience is among the factors that drive business growth. However, it has been discovered that many businesses in Uganda have not considered it, which has led to loss of customers. To address the matter, the Customers Experience Association of Uganda has held the CEO Forum to discuss how businesses can maintain customer loyalty. Joan Tabadecheyuni, the President, Customers Experience Association of Uganda, says customer experience cuts across all businesses, hence shares the benefits.
Everybody in this country is a user of a service. That person down will go to the driving permit office and try and get served. You've all seen things are improving. Another person will go to a hospital and the patient will die instantly because no one was there to what? To help them get served. So the association is here to collaborate with different institutions as well as businesses. You know, when we send out the survey, even the people downtown will also answer the survey and tell us what's working in our country and what's not working.
According to Ian Golding, emphasizes the need for all businesses to have a long-term strategy for growth.
One of the most important skills of customer experience practitioners, but often not necessarily stated enough, is the importance of continuous communication. I was once described as a chief company irritant, a CCI. Now, you know, some people might think that was people being rude about me. Actually, I see that as a guarded compliment. It is so important that we talk about this, we keep talking about it, we keep pushing. This is why the profession that customer experience has become is so important.
Ntabade highlights on some of challenges businesses are likely to face on failure to adopt customer experience.
Their service delivery will not be intentional. It will be accidental. The fact that no one is intentionally designing and listening to what the customer is saying and improving it or going to the back to engage to improve, they stand to lose out and leave money on the table. Even as we say that customer experience exists to help improve the lives of our customers, customer experience also exists to make money.
The Customers Experience Forum was under the theme, Customer Experience Association that inspires loyalty, drives engagement, and powers growth in businesses. Andrew Sebida compiled this story for UBC.
Thank you, Andrew, for that. Uganda is advancing efforts to align its telecom and energy sectors that accelerate socio-economic transformation through sustainable, inclusive infrastructure development. The Uganda Communications Commission and the American Tower Corporation Uganda are addressing the vital link between connectivity and energy access. Let's take a look.
Electrification of telecom infrastructure across the country.
The forum on the theme Powering the Telecom Sector to Drive Socio-Economic Transformation connected government officials, private sector leaders, development partners and UN agencies to discuss integrated strategies that can unlock rural connectivity, improve public service and stimulate inclusive economic growth.
These towers, wherever they are mounted, they should have access to reliable power. We have discussed this with the President, and the President has committed himself to ensure that the government realizes that.
You'll notice that our tariff has actually been dropping, and we must celebrate our government for working very hard to drop the tariff. In 2020, it was 647 shillings per kilowatt hour. That rate has actually dropped further. You have here 606 in 2024. I think the newest rate for 25 is 546 shillings. And it's something that we must continuously applaud and celebrate our government for reducing the rate that we pay for electricity.
Initiatives like Mission 300 targets 300 million Africans by 2030, and coordinated UN programs demonstrate commitment to providing sustainable energy solutions.
Power for data centers is key to enabling AI. And then, of course, you've seen how power touches the lives of so many people across Uganda. So this challenge that we're sitting here to solve is way bigger than the telecom sector and way bigger than the telco sector.
The forum underscored the necessity of multi-stakeholder partnerships involving government, regulators, private investors and development agencies to bridge gaps between ambitious national visions and ground-level implementation.
Electricity is not a background story anymore. It is critical in the digital story that we are building. It is part of the critical foundations that must be put in. Without it, there is no transformation, and all that we will have is potential of this great nation that will remain in the dark.
Such integrated infrastructure development aligns with Uganda's Vision 2040 and supports key sustainable development goals, notably clean energy access, innovation, industry and climate action, promising to transform digital and energy landscapes into inclusive pathways for equity and resilience. Wadulo Arnold Mark for UBC News in Kampala.
And now to our sports news. The third edition of the Federation of Uganda Football Association's FUFA TV Cup has entered the round of 16. John Barnes Sentamu has the details.
90, David Agawa served once again, and that is over.
Mengo SS needed penalties to ease past Namilyango College. St. Charles Wangakasa Senior Secondary School ejected Nganywa High School 5-1 on aggregate, while Mpanga SS edged Nyakasura School 3-0. Mbale SS defeated Bukoyo SS 3-1. Jinja College exited Kira College Butiki 5-4 in penalties, as St. Joseph's College Laibi bettered Gulu High. St. Joseph's College Ombachi lost to St. Charles Luanga College Koboko 4-1. Naumari High School outlasted Dr. Obote College Boroboro, as Jinja College sent Kira College Butiki parking.
It was a lovely atmosphere with all the stakeholders here, the old boys and the students themselves. We want to really appreciate FUFA for introducing this tournament. This is a tournament which has brought back the heritage, which has brought back old boys as you see around us here. I have seen old boys from St. Joseph's College Ombachi, old boys from St. Charles Luanga College Koboko. That is the beauty of these FUFA TV games. They bring the old boys together. Some of us have been in both schools. You have St. Charles Luanga, you have St. Joseph's College. You're lost for choice. But in football, if the winner takes it all, and want to say thank you for FUFA TV.
Others through to the round of 16 are Duhaga SS, Meta SS, Mutuyera High School, St. Mary's College Kisubi, Kibuli SS, Ngora High School, and Kako SS. The tournament changes format this season with action from the round of 16 till the final to be played at St. Joseph's College Laibi from 1st to 7th September 2025. This tournament is a reserve for traditional schools and is played on the theme of excellence in academics and sports.
The fourth edition of the Tascalite Mount Rwenzori Marathon is scheduled to happen this August, with Standard Chartered Bank powering elite runners at the marathon. Through its continued support, the bank is reaffirming its dedication to championing athletics, health and sustainability. Let's see the details.
Standard Chartered Bank is sponsoring the prize money for elite runners to make the Rwenzori Marathon Uganda Uganda's most competitive long-distance race. Sanjay points out that through tourism, the marathon will contribute to Uganda's GDP.
We are handing over Uganda shillings 150 million towards this marathon. And for us, it's the third year in a row. Extremely privileged to support an initiative that started as a small dream. You know, we started with 800 people running, moved on to 2,000, 2,600, 700. This year, I hope it's 5,000 plus. We've just heard 520 Kenyans have already signed up. My friends from back home, Tanzania, have also signed up. So really, our commitment to the marathon is, we will be partners, shoulder to shoulder. We'll be celebrating, we will be elevating its ambitions. We'll be talking to our clients about it. But it's also linked to our ambitions for Uganda. The tenfold GDP growth that we are talking about. We've been here, as I said, on 12th of August. We'll celebrate 113 years of our existence. And as Standard Chartered Bank, we know the value of marathons. We do 5 of the world's best marathons. And we hope someday that is what shape this kind of marathon takes.
The CEO, Great Lakes Safaris, Amos Wekesa, says that one of the vital reasons is climate restoration, which will include reforestation and the marathon's broader vision of climate-cautious sports tourism.
This year, we are actually expecting the Deputy Speaker of Parliament from Kenya, but she's from Eldoret area. So what she has done is she's paid for professional, the elite runners to come for the Rwenzori Marathon this year. So the competition for the 150 million shillings is not going to only be domestic this time. It's going to be regional, maybe international if the CIFOs, because people like CIFO are not very easy runners.
This year's top prize for the 42-kilometer winners, both men and women, stands at Uganda shillings 10 million, while winners of the 21-kilometer races will take Uganda shillings 7 million. Additional cash prizes will be awarded to runners placing in the top 6, to persons with disabilities, as well as standout local athletes from Kasese. I am Marion Awori, reporting for UBC.
Thank you very much, Marion Awori, for that report. And UBC Lunchtime News has come to the very end. Thank you for watching, viewers, but do follow us on all our social media platforms. I am Brian Tumwine Biaruhanga. Goodbye and God bless Uganda.